Alright, I'm gonna do the installation of the Spiegler lines on a GSXR 750. I got the front and the back, and here are the I already checked to make sure I have all the banjo bolts and the lines. With Spiegler, the lines are marked with a little sticky thing. It says rear master cylinder, first master cylinder, and the second master cylinder, so you know where the lines go. Alright, move around. We're going to do the rear first because the rear is the more difficult, or the easiest one to do, so we'll start with the rear first. We'll just leave those there for a minute. First thing you want to do is you want to bleed your brakes, and here's the bleed nipple. And what we're going to do is we have to remove the brake fluid holder back here, and that is with this. Alright, this is a was an 8mm nut in the back, holding on the brake fluid holder, or brake reservoir for the rear. And I just move it to the front, just like that. Wish I knew a way to do this better, but this works. It's not too bad. Alright, we gotta open this up so we can get this started. Alright, we're gonna remove the whatever this is that's holding the brake fluid in. Oh, okay. And this brake fluid is not that dirty, at least that's pretty good. I'm putting everything over here. I hope this holds. I don't know how else to keep this thing flipping over on me. Alright, so we're going to bleed the brakes so we empty out the system. And I'm going to bleed the brakes using the speed bleeder bag. All it is a bag that's good for brake fluid, and it won't corrode with brake fluid, and a hose. Alright, so we're going to attach this. You know, easiest thing is to put this down first, and then attach this nipple. Brake parts cleaner, just in case something happens. I have covered up some stuff, like with tape. I use tape to cover up the brake, just in case. Hopefully I won't get stuff on it. And some of the rim, I put a little bit of paper. But anything brake fluid touches, you want to clean it off immediately. Alright, so this is the easy way, or not the easy way, the no tools way of doing your brakes. So you're going to pump all the fluid out of here, just like that. Pump it, open it, and close it. Pump it, open it, and close it. Pump it, pumping it to get the brake pressure. Then you open it and close it. Pump it, open it, and close it. Pump it, open it, and close it. Keep doing this until you get everything out. That's all you're going to do until you start seeing air. It's probably almost empty here. all I can get out of this. Oh, there we go. It's coming, it's coming. Slowly but surely. Keep pumping, get all the air out, or clean the system of fluid. See all I'm getting is bubbles. That means it's almost clean. You just want to try and get as much fluid out of it so that, oh, it's pretty much empty. So I'm going to close it back up now. Doesn't matter. Alright, close that back up. And now we can try to remove the actual brake lines itself. And that is going to be done with a... Alright, before I do that, I'm going to rip off little pieces of paper that I will stick in the brake line to sop up the fluid when I'm holding it, so that it doesn't drain everywhere. Alright, so now all I gotta do is remove this bolt here. Break that. And then break the back one. Alright, cool. Just leave that on. And then we'll try to get this off without too much of a mess. I'm going to put the paper towel back there just in case. Yeah, alright, we got that off. So there you go. And how it was holding on was it's the one nut, then one washer on top of it, and one washer below it. So you got to remember that when you're putting on the new rear brake pads. There's two washers for this nut. Alright, so I'm going to use this here. Put it in. Make sure I'm not leaking brake fluid all over the place. Alright, I'll clean that up a little bit. There we go. Hold. Actually, just bring this back here. We'll do the same thing. Yeah. Got brake fluid here. That's fine. This thing will come off. Alright, so you get the other piece and fit it in to here. Make sure I'm not getting fluid everywhere. This brake fluid is bad. Alright. So we need to take off this, and then the brake line should just come straight off. Now you can pause it. Ready? Alright, so in order to take off the rear brake line, you got to take off this piece, and you got this piece. This piece has a screw in the back, which would make you have to take off the tire to take it off, which I'm not going to do. That's crazy. So it can bend, so I'm going to just pry it off. I guess that works. And this one, so you just use a flathead screwdriver to pry it open, and off they come. Alright, so we got the rear brake line that I'm going to be installing here. And it says rear master cylinder, so I'm guessing this part stays up here. The other part goes down there. Let me make sure I clean this off a little bit, and make sure you take off any loose washers that are there. Should clean that off a little bit. Make sure everything is all right. Make sure no washers are there, and then we're gonna try and put this thing back on. All right. This says rear master cylinder, so I'm gonna put this up top. Let's peel this off. Go with the rear master cylinder. But here, you have to make sure you have your washer. Banjo bolt, a washer, and it has to be a single banjo bolt, single open banjo bolt, because there's two kinds. So this is going to be the rear master cylinder right here, and you got two crush washers, which I'm going to put one down first. Okay. Then put it through here, and then put one on top of that. So the fitting is actually sandwiched. So make sure you do that right, or you're gonna have a problem. Alright, so this thing is fitting pretty nicely. No issues there. Just hand tighten the screw. We got a problem. So this thing should have been turned a little bit more. So we have to use a tool provided to turn the fitting correctly. This tool goes like this. So the fitting is a little bit off. Alright, so this fitting is a little bit off, so we have to turn it. Turn it probably like 90 degrees. So I use this, stick it in here. You're supposed to use a vise on this, but I don't have a vise. So we'll see if it works. Alright, so I was able to turn it using a pair of vice grips and the tool that was provided. So I'm done with that. Got that done, luckily. And then we can go back to the install. Alright, so we're gonna do banjo bolt and washer. Goes on top. And banjo bolt on the bottom. So you're gonna install like that. Install the rear one after we've turned it, and you need a banjo bolt and two crush washers. One crush washer up top, install one crush washer underneath, like so. Just try to get it in correctly. Alright, got it in. Make sure it goes through that little notch that's built in there. And then that's, looks like it. You just gotta tighten these, and then we're gonna bleed the brakes. And now we're gonna tighten these things down. You should look through your instructions to see what the torque specs are for these bolts. looks good. Now we gotta put some brake fluid back into these lines, and hopefully they work. Alright, now it's time to bleed the brakes, and we got some brake fluid here that we're going to use. And make sure if you're using brake fluid that it's new out of the box or never been opened, because brake fluid is hygroscopic and it can't be left open. Alright, so I'm going to pour some in here. Not too much, make sure seal it up a little bit so nothing really gets in there. And now we're going to try to get this thing started. Alright. I'm going to open this up. Try and get some brake fluid in there. Hopefully, because this is just a bad way to do it. I just don't know how else to do it. I need to get it started. Oh, I can see something. It's coming. I feel it, pedal feel. Ah, there we go. Got it. Just make sure while you're bleeding the brake fluid and the brake lines that you never let the fluid go to the bottom, because then you have to start all over again. Now we're going to open it. Barely getting any bubbles. Close it. I'm going to refill it a little bit. Because you never want it to go to the bottom, because then you have to start the whole thing over. So pump it. Yeah. Close it. Pump it. Close it. There's barely any bubbles coming up, so that's good. Bubbles mean that there's still air in the lines. I'm getting some bubbles, but not too much, so that's good. Alright, nice. See, the rear brake is the easiest one to do. Again, make sure you're not letting fluid go to the bottom, so that'll just be a waste. Pump it, pump it, pump it. Open. And I think, try one more. And that looks really clear. So I think I am done on this. Lower, make sure it's in between. I think that should be good. I'll try putting everything back in and see if it fills up more or not. So put the rubber gasket in. The top on that. And it's still in the middle, so that's good. Not bad at all. I put the screws back. Alright, so last piece is to install this back in to the position, the right position. That just involves a little screw. You'll find it here. This should be it. Yep. Alright, that's it, and then after that, take the stuff off and then clean stuff off with some brake cleaner, brake parts cleaner, and then you're done. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, bye.